What's going on, everyone? It's your man John Resurrection here, and we are selling cars like candy bars. Today's market, what we're looking at is that majority of everyone is going into the compact SUV market, but yet Nissan refused to let go of the Nissan Altima. So what they've done is they've went through the 6th generation and finally put out something worthwhile and what people should be looking at. So take this journey with me as we take a look at the 2019 Nissan Altima.
Begging pretty please, I'm so hung up on you. I couldn't tell you what it feels like, but I sure think you do. Where do you go when your glass ends up empty? Oh, I wanna know, won't you let me know? Where do you hide when you leave me wasted? Oh, I wanna know.
One of the great things that Nissan has actually done right now is that they stay true to staying aggressive and giving it a more sportier look when it's all said and done. Staying with its true V-Power currently right now, they've given it a massive grille now, letting people know that they mean business when putting out something new. With the 6th generation, they had to style it up, they had to change the game when it was all said and done. Now, everyone knows that's been watching anything content with selling cars like candy bars, everyone knows about the shoe game. And I want to say my shoe game is pretty tight. And what Nissan has done is they stepped up their shoe game when it was all said and done in the 2019 Altima. Now this is the SR edition, so this is going to be a little bit different on each different trims when it's all said and done. But what they've done, because they've dropped it about 1 inch, they wanted to fill in that spot, making sure that there's less lag and less space between the wheel well. And what they put is a 19-inch wheel. Nice contrast when it's all said and done. And as we go through the vehicle, what you'll see is that they have the black lacquer through here and the piano all the way throughout the vehicle, inside and outside. So checking out their shoe game, I think they've done it right. Okay, I understand. Not everyone's gonna love this color. It's called the Sunset Drift when it's all said and done. But it's the holidays, folks. It's Thanksgiving. Looks like the pumpkin spice. But nevertheless, the reason why I chose this color is because it does show a lot of the lines when it's all said and done. If you can see the power lines that go all the way through, they went cutting edge when it was all said and done. So what you'll find is that the Nissan Altima took a lot of the same cues from its big brother, which is the Nissan Maxima. From the very top of the belt right here, location right here, and more of a swooping when it's almost like a coupe when it's all said and done. It sacrifices a little bit in the interior, and we'll get to that portion later, but nevertheless, I love the styling points. I love how they're trying to make it more aerodynamic and have better MPGs when it's all said and done. But nevertheless, Sunset Drift, if you don't like it, stop being a hater. All right, anyone that's seen any of my content when I'm doing reviews on the car, I usually focus a lot on the booty, the trunk, the back of the car. And the reason being is 9 times out of 10, a lot of manufacturers disregard the rear when it's all said and done. So what they've actually done here is, again, monotone paint treatment. Because this is the SR, to give it more of that sportier look, they put the black lacquers all through the lighting system. And then also they spared no expense when it came down to making sure that there was paint treatment back down here. Usually they'll put a plastic when it's all said and done just to cut corners, but Nissan has actually made sure that they didn't cut the corners. But making sure that it still had an aggressive look, they did come out with a dual exhaust system on this particular one to give maximum torque and horsepower, and making sure that this car can go from 0 to 60 really quick. I think they did a great job with the booty. Let's go see what's in the trunk. Now, usually in a mid-size sedan, comparative to a compact SUV, people usually think that the trunk is actually smaller in the mid-size sedan. Nissan has made sure that they didn't spare an expense when it came down making sure that there's enough room here. So if you're a big Costco shopper, especially during the holidays, and you're trying to pack as much presents and givings through here in the Nissan Altima, there is plenty of space. Looking at 24 inches from bottom to top, you can fit anything there. But I always do the trunk challenge. And if my body can fit in here, I think it's gonna be a winner for the holidays. So let's just see how well this fits me in there. Now, you can see I fit perfectly in here. It's about a 2-body trunk. So I think it can work for the holidays for you. Now there's a couple of things to note when sitting back here in a Nissan Altima. Now, comparative to the competitors, it is actually, you still have a lot of leg room, but I'm thinking for the headroom space, I'm about 5'10". My head is clearly probably 2 fingers away from hitting the top, but nevertheless, it's still comfortable when it's all said and done. It actually has the armrest when it comes down to it for a little bit more comfort for your passengers in the rear. And not only that, for everyone that's on social media and everyone that's constantly on their phone, they do have 2 charging ports in the back, USB ports. So they made sure that everyone can still Instagram, still Facebook, still do a Snapchat, whatever they want to do in the rear seat. Now, for someone like me that does a lot of commuting, my biggest thing is how comfortable are the seats. Now, Nissan has actually done something incredible with their seating arrangement. With the NASA-inspired seating, it just literally feels like you're floating on clouds. Now, for me that commutes a lot, comfort is everything. So Nissan has done it right when it came down on how they built the seat, how comfortable it is, and how it feels for long driving. A couple of other things that you need to recognize when you're inside the Nissan Altima is that they have a lot of soft feel inside the vehicle. Through the dashboard all the way to the armrest, from everything from the armrest from the side of the door, it just feels extremely comfortable. Making sure that they stick to the SR on this particular one. They did a lot of the double stitching. They played with the exterior color with the interior color, so you're gonna get the sunset drift. Again, I get it, but they've also made sure they put the same contrast inside as well, which I think is awesome. Now, one of the cool things also, you want to make sure that you are paying attention when it comes to technology. Nissan made sure that they did it right. So the Nissan came out with the Apple CarPlay and the Android CarPlay, which is actually standard even on the entry version. SR version, it is available all the way up to the Platinum version as well. So I love that they made it a standard feature, and it's not something that you have to pay. Now, with a starting price of about 23 and some change all the way up to 35 and some change, I know it's a wide gap, but you are going to be paying for a lot of the things when it comes to things that are going to become standard, like the Apple CarPlay, the autonomous braking. They don't like to call it that, but nevertheless, that's what it is. The blind spot monitoring system and a lot of the same things as far as from the entry all the way up to the most expensive Platinum Edition. All right, so now we're on the road here in Oxnard and Ventura area. Now, I chose the 2.5 4-cylinder engine, which is also married to the continuously variable transmission. And the reason being is that a lot of people are still skeptical on the turbo, which gets you over 220, 230 horsepower on the turbo. But on the 2.5, it's about 188 horsepower when it's all said and done, which should be plenty when it comes down to doing a commute and going out there for a drive. Now, the reason why I do love and appreciate what they've done here, again, these seats are the bomb.com. It's ridiculous. Like, I usually have back problems because I do a lot of commute and I'm sitting down a lot, but nevertheless, it's just extremely comfortable. On the new 2.5 4-banger that they got going on, though, you're gonna get about 28 in the city and about 39 on the freeway, which is actually tapping into what a lot of hybrids are doing out there right now. So I think that's pretty awesome what they've done with it. So you're gonna get a combined about 32 miles per gallon. Now, if anyone knows anything about Ventura and Oxnard County, is that the roads suck. They got gravel all over the place. It's extremely noisy when you're driving, when it comes down to just normal commute to work and back. But they've done a lot of dampening as far as the material that they're using to subdue the actual sound. So even though the engine's a little bit noisier, I think it's a great compliment as far as making sure that the sound is not terrible when driving on the roads out here. All right, folks, if you are out there in the market right now and you're in the Oxnard, Ventura County area, you make sure you take a look at Team Nissan, and they will make sure that they take care of you. Top 50 Nissan dealerships in the nation, and then the #1 Nissan dealership in the Tri-County. Bar none, 2019 Nissan Altima has came correct when it comes down to midsize sedans. They've done a lot of great things. Styling points are up to par. The shoe game is up to par. The trunk space is up to par. Everything about this car is up to par. Make sure you take a look at what they're doing out there in the Nissan product. Make sure you check out your local Nissan dealership and take that thing for a spin. Thank you again for looking at the content. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share all the content that I'm putting out there right now. And for anyone that's selling cars, you keep going and keep selling cars like candy bars. Late.
And that, folks, is a shot of John's butt.
So I love what they've done here. The monotone paint treatment with the pianos all the way through made that. Ah! But some other couple of things here is that they actually got the armrest, very comfortable. First instant, do it again. That one was garbage.
Need to get the
For compact SUVs because they need more space in the trunk. The Nissan Altima actually made sure that the mother